Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back one last time at K 2025 for one of our plastics dialogues. Welcome back on our plastics journey. And we're going to talk about how three partners actually close the loop to break the circuit. And breaking the circuit is something that this thing can do, and also this great piece here next to me. But we'll get more into details later. First of all, I'd like to introduce you. Very happy that you're joining me on stage here. Manickam-Chauhan from Siemens. Tristan Weik, he's a carbon footprint manager at Actemium, and the one colleague who never leaves the stage, whether it's at the dialogues or playing the trumpet, Geiger. So, happy to have you here. Tristan, maybe you can kick us off. I mean, we will be talking about regulatory shifts, about company commitments, how they are reshaping the industry. But first of all, I think Siemens and BASF are well known. Maybe Actemium isn't to that extent.
Yeah. So Actemium, it's a part of VINCI Energy group, and what we do is we are a global systems integrator.
Okay.
So that means, historically, originally, a lot of electrical circuits, electrical systems, but now we've expanded our expertise a lot beyond that, and nowadays we're in electrical as well as thermal systems, we're in control and industrial IT, we're working in mechanical processes, so like hydrogen, robotics, special machines, all sort of that sort of thing. And yeah, it's great to be on stage here today with two colleagues from Siemens and BASF, because it's, as you said, it's a nice little loop which we can get into with the circuit breaker as well. So
now you're standing in the middle of BASF and Siemens. Is this also where your business is located?
Not exactly. No. It's like I said, it's a little bit more of a loop. So for example, the circuit breaker that we're talking about is from Siemens, which we take into our projects in that sense, and BASF in that sense provides the material for the circuit breaker to be made. But I guess in a certain way I am in the right position, because in the circle where it is the correct position, because afterwards for BASF we use these circuit breakers in their projects and install it and integrate it into their systems as well. So in that sense it closes that loop that we were talking about.
So we should stand in a circle, actually.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, we should do that, but then the audience couldn't really see us. I would like maybe next time we have a circular stage. So, Tristan, as a systems integrator, how do you perceive market requirements changing these days?
Yeah, it's a huge topic, and I think especially in industrial markets right now, I mean the various industrial markets, there is a sort of a transformation going on. It's a change where before, customers, clients, what they were looking for was performance and cost efficiency, which is still the case, don't worry. But there's a third variable which comes into play now, and that's sustainability. And so what they're looking for now is sustainable solutions to help achieve their carbon reduction commitments, to help achieve their ESG strategies and their goals in that sense. And so what we as Actemium are seeing is a growing demand for low-carbon products, energy-efficient products, and also products that are based on circular economy in that sort of regard. Yeah.
You at Siemens definitely share those requirements, because also your vision is quite ambitious when it comes to sustainability, right?
Yeah, that's true. And like Tristan said, like in the complete industry spectrum, we are being required to implement circularity practices, ensure that there is energy efficiency, minimum waste, and in this process, sustainability becomes like the center point for driving innovations, regularity framework, and as well in then long term, then the center go for having a long business. Long-term business, I mean. And when it comes to Siemens, it has always been, and it's always would be like innovation, performance, and sustainability has to go hand in hand. So it's one of the requirements for us that we need to have transparency for the products, so our customers have full transparency and have an ecological product design there.
Yeah. And Olli, that transparency starts from the basic material.
That starts from the basic material, because if we talk product carbon footprint, we need to compare apples with apples. We need to know exactly how to calculate that. And but we see this customer request for such products that we're talking today, and probably that's also a bit different to what we heard in the talk before, where it's not clear who's really requesting what and when. here we have this demand already in place, and that makes it really nice to collaborate with these companies.
Yeah, yeah. And this is going across all scopes, basically, this transparency.
Yeah. So, like you said, the demand, it's really, clients are starting to focus on scope 3. So scope 3 includes all of the indirect emissions of a value chain of a company. And so what that means is, from the production to the manufacturing processes, the transport method, all of that comes into this carbon footprint. And so if clients are trying to reduce that, well, then, it's all part of that scope.
Is this also the way that you look at it?
Yeah, definitely. Because normally scope 3 is the one that contributes the most to greenhouse gases.
Yeah.
And reducing it is quite challenging. For this, we need to have like a collaborative approach that we have together with Actemium and BASF. So what we do within Siemens as well is to have a Siemens Ecotech label for all the products, which means that each of the product that satisfies a strict environment criteria across 3 dimensions. The first dimension being like optimal use of the product, ensuring energy efficiency during the operations phase. Then the second dimension being value recovery and circularity, ensuring that we have a complete circular design based on recyclability and a long lifetime. And the third one is the choice of sustainable materials. This is one of the most underrated topic with huge potential. There's a reason why I'm saying this, because you see this circuit breaker. We tried to change a lot of parts of this with a sustainable plastic, which you might know a lot in BASF, known as biomass balanced.
He knows.
Where the basic, if I put it in very simple words, I'm not a plastics engineer, so in simple words, instead of using fossil to make the plastics, you're using the biomass-based plastic. So just this change alone, for the whole year, it saves us around 270 tons of CO2, and that's quite good for us. So we are working on these much more.
Okay, thank you. So now is your opportunity to add to Uma's explanation, Olli.
Of course. I mean, we were already talking about biomass balance or biomass, and probably we should talk about the part again. Yeah, I mean, this part has a lot of plastic parts inside. More than 10 different plastics from BASF, Ultramid, Nylon 6, PBT, Ultradur, some of them flame retardant, and you can imagine that to make this part function, those parts, they have to be accurate, they have to be reliable, because this really protects lives, this device. So no compromise on the function of this part, and that means no compromise on the material performance. And this is why together we have chosen this approach of biomass balance, because there we only substitute the raw materials in our manufacturing process, and you can confirm that we get exactly the same chemical and physical properties. This is why your engineers love it. It's a drop-in solution.
Absolutely. It's been running for more than a year, and it's quite good, because if there are complaints, we would be in trouble in the industries for sure. So it's perfect.
Yeah. No, and in that sense, I think to have this biomass balance, these low carbon products like this, it's also, at least for us, we're noticing it's a differentiator in terms of the market and the clients that we have, because they're looking for alternatives, they're looking for low carbon and energy efficient solutions like this. And so to have Ecotech labeled Siemens products like this as part of our tenders, it sets us apart, and that's super important for the market as well.
It's interesting because we hear a lot of times that there is the demand, that there is the requirement. We even heard a couple of times that the sustainability or circularity is kind of a mandatory criteria these days, but still there is some hesitancy also to accept it. What's your observation?
I mean, there's always a bit of hesitancy because it does, in a certain way, cost you money, especially in the first instance. But in the long term, I think it's one of the key decision-making factors that you have to take into consideration for a long-term vision of the industrial future. And when you're talking about regulation, it's creeping up. It's more and more every day. So it's also good to be prepared, quite simply. And those who are not prepared now will perhaps pay the price later.
I mean, Uma, Siemens is spread across so many industries, virtually any industry that you can think of, somehow you're a part of. What's your observation when it comes to the kind of level of acceptance or the hesitancy that we just talked about?
So, I completely agree with what Tristan said, there's always an hesitance when it comes to the cost topic, but right now with the regulatory push as well, and the own consciousness that has been increasing from a sustainability factor, together of course with the market demand, this has become quite prominent for us in different industry spectrums, and including in chemical like BASF, because when you want to produce a sustainable product, you need to also have the production in a sustainable way. It applies the same for us. So it's the loop that we are kind of also encouraging each other doing this. So yeah.
So let's take a look at the next steps now. I mean, this is something that you can be very, very proud of. Highly complex part, new technology, same quality as always. So will you replace all your plastics with that in the future?
I would love to say yes, exactly. Okay. There is always a process. So right now for the industrials portfolio, which is called as SIRIUS, we are trying to bring more of this approach, because with the success of 3RV2 and how much it puts us forward on a sustainability of the portfolio, we want to bring it into more of the SIRIUS portfolio. One of the main reasons that has been stopping the business sectors like us is that for the products like circuit breaker, 3RV2, it has to be quite safe. And there are parts where there is like arc inside and plastics combined next to it. They have to be safe when you're using a sustainable option. So we had to find the right matching ones that's fitting with the product. And this project kind of proves that bringing the sustainability is not fully compromising or never compromising with the safety aspects and performance aspects. So we want to use this and move forward with the project. And another aspect that we are trying to explore is also mechanical recycling, but then that wouldn't be for the extremely critical parts. And yeah, we are exploring more options that's available in the market as well now.
As Yuma says, it's all about the claim that you want to achieve. There are so many KPI that you can achieve: circularity targets in the product carbon footprint of your product, or may it be just the claim fossil-free. And I guess depending on that, the solution needs to be. I mean, we had also this in the talk before. There are many different recycling technologies in place. There are also on top of that technologies and measures in place how you reduce the carbon footprint without touching the raw materials. Also, this is possible with the BASF portfolio. And this is what we also elaborate together now, where to put what. And as you mentioned, mechanical recycling, we are happy you did this with one of our competitors. We're more happy if you do it with us next time, because we also have this in our portfolio.
But this variety, this quite complex landscape of requirements and also of offerings, does it make your life more difficult in systems integration then?
Not really, no.
Okay.
I think having more options in that sense is a good thing.
Okay, yeah.
You can offer more. But like Uma was saying, if in the future there are more serious options, there are different success stories that we can take advantage of, we'd love to be able to integrate them in all sorts of different environments. Because like I said, it's really a thing that we want to try and push for, and that we can see clients are demanding. And so the more we have of that variety, the more we can offer, the better.
Fantastic. Because we have that kind of big piece here next to us, the giant SIRIUS circuit breaker, and it comes with a digital product passport. We have to explain what that is.
So I can take care of it. Yeah. So I mean, as Yuma said, they have already a lot of documentation in place for this piece. This is also documentation on the technical aspects, but also on the materials, on circularity, and so on. And I mean, the digital product passport is a thing we will see in the future for each and every product, because regulation will force us to do so. And we as a team working at Catena X, the digital twin for the automotive industry, since 3 or 4 years, we thought, okay, why not being having one of the first products that comes with a digital product passport. This is exactly why we put this next to the model of the SIRIUS 3RV2, so you can easily scan the QR code to get more information. And this is also important if we talk about recycling of those pieces at the end of life. Because if you know what it is and what the materials are that inside, then you can disassemble and reuse or recycle more easily than if you would just put it into a shredder.
Yeah, it's all about transparency in that sense.
Absolutely.
And so it's amazing to have this product passport already.
Yeah, it's important. And you can actually scan it here on stage. We will not produce this now. One last time. Olli, I think you've had your share of dialogues for this K-Fair, but you can come back in 2028. Yeah?
Of course.
What are we going to talk about here on stage in 2028? You have 3 years' time.
Maybe more on the collaboration and more on how such collaborations are driving sustainability forward without compromising any safety or performance.
Absolutely agree. I think for me as well, sustainability, it's a shared journey, which we can see here with our great collaboration. I hope next time we can talk about even more partners involved, perhaps different collaboration products as well, and just expand on what we've built so far.
So let's do that. October 2028, Olli, you can come back.
I can come, yeah. And I can say 3 RV2.
Exactly. Thank you all very much for your insights, and thank you all for your attention. That was our last Plastics Dialogue for this K-Show. We can stop the recording now.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
BASF. We create chemistry.